On Wednesday, the US House of Representatives chaired a landmark hearing on unidentified anomalous phenomenon, more colloquially known as UFOs, and the attempts by the government to illegally conceal the evidence from Congress. The hearing saw 3 witnesses questioned under oath on their claims, including David Grush, a former intelligence officer who claims the US has intact and partially intact alien craft and biological material. Here are the main claims made by the witnesses. The US government is actively trying to conceal UFOs and harms those who speak out. That was the central claim made by Grush.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
Has any of the activity been aggressive, been hostile?
I know of multiple colleagues of mine that got physically injured.
By UAPs or by people within the federal government?
Both.
Another key witness at the hearing was retired pilot David Fravor. He's one of the people who was involved with the infamous Tic Tac video from 2004.
The controller told us that these objects had been observed for over 2 weeks, coming down from over 80,000 feet, rapidly descending to 20,000 feet, hanging out for hours, and then going straight back up. For those who don't realize, above 80,000 feet is space. So as you started to turn back towards the east, the controller came up and said, "Sir, you're not going to believe this, but that thing is at your cat point, roughly 60 miles away in less than a minute. You can calculate the speed."
Did you see any source of propulsion from the flying object?
No, there's none. There's no IR plume coming out, and there's no visible signs of propulsion. It's just sitting in space at 20,000 feet.
Can you describe how the aircraft maneuvered?
Abruptly, very determinate. It knew exactly what it was doing. It was aware of our presence, and it had acceleration rates. I mean, it went from 0 to matching our speed in no time at all.
Now, if the fastest plane on Earth was trying to do these maneuvers that you saw, would it be capable of doing that?
No, not even close.
And just to confirm, this object had no wings, correct?
No wings.
Well, either the United States has an adversary here in this world that we don't know, or we really have some serious investigations.
Ryan Graves was another of the 3 witnesses testifying. He said pilots are frequently witnessing UFOs and there needs to be better reporting systems in place. He also described some of the physics-breaking capabilities of some of the craft.
How do you know that these were not our aircraft?
Some of the behaviors that we saw in a working area, we would see these objects being at 0.0 Mach, that's 0 airspeed, over certain pieces of the ground. These objects were staying completely stationary in Category 4 hurricane winds. These same objects would then accelerate to supersonic speeds, 1.1, 1.2 Mach, and they would do so in very erratic and quick behaviors that I don't have an explanation for.
Perhaps most alarming of all the claims is Grush's testimony that the US government recovered non-human biological material from an unidentified craft which had crashed.
If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
Biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
The hearing wasn't a confirmation of alien life, nor did it offer any proof for the wild claims. However, the fact that the topic of UFOs received such a high-profile hearing in Congress is a big moment. A lot of the answers to the juiciest questions resulted in dead ends, with witnesses saying they couldn't provide more detail due to strict classification laws. Maybe what was most shocking was that for once, Republicans and Democrats were working together.